Yo people, welcome back to another video, and this time we have my SummerSlam Night 1 review. Now this was for me a very underwhelming show, a couple of boring and useless matches. All the matches I'm interested in are actually happening on Night 2, so I expect that to be a lot better. Obviously the ending for Night 1 was sensational, but we'll get into that later. Now let's start with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. This match was actually kind of bad in my opinion in terms of the beginning. I like Jey Uso, but he was overselling too much. It slowed down the match a lot. And Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, they were trying to liven things up and trigger the fans by doing bloodline emotes and all the usual trash talking that the heels have to do. Now, the match picked up once Roman Reigns was tagged in, and we had that cool spot of him jumping over the ropes and landing on Braun and Bronson. I don't remember the last time he actually did that, so it was nice to see it again. And from here on out, it was straightforward with Jey picking up the win. Braun Breaker appeared to pick up some sort of injury after the match, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But to be fair, this all-round was a good opener for the show and a solid match overall, even if the outcome was predictable. Next was Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss for the WWE Tag Team Titles, and we knew what was coming. Two white women involved. You already know Triple H doesn't need a lot to put belts on white people. The way he handled the two Latinas as well with the tag team titles has been an absolute disgrace. But same thing can be said about most of the title reigns that have been happening over the last year or so. So it's not a racial thing. Roxanne and Raquel, however, they lose every other week. So I don't know why we bother with this. One thing I will have to say is I think this could bleed into the Dominic match that is on Night 2, where I still think Dominic and Raquel will get betrayed by the Judgment Day as Dominic loses his Intercontinental title to AJ Styles. I think with Raquel and Roxanne not having the belts anymore, it means they don't really owe each other any sort of loyalty. So if that's the case, then this match was a good move in terms of making them drop the belts. But if nothing happens and Raquel and Roxanne keep being friends, then there was absolutely no point. Roxanne, she also gets pinned every week and she's meant to be this next big thing, the prodigy and everything. Raquel, she's coming to her own organically and she just gets made to lose every week. So yeah, I get it. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, they have the hype right now. They have a lot of eyes on them right now, so they can maybe liven things up in the tag team division, but I don't know. It just depends on Night 2 how that goes. But the match itself, it was cool, it was alright, and we're off to a pretty decent start overall after these two matches. Up next was the match that when I was doing this review, I actually forgot to include it because I forgot it happened. And the match was Sami Zayn versus Carryan Cross. Now, there's nothing really to say. Sami didn't turn heel, he didn't lose, and it was more time wasted in his career. Hopefully, it's the end of this irrelevant feud for him. I've actually seen people upset that Carryan didn't win. They're saying how, oh, his contract is up soon, and this loss means that he's leaving, and it's wasted potential. It's not sad, it's not wasted potential, he's not good enough, and it's time to go. There's these people that are online that are pushing this Carryan Cross guy as if he's ever good at anything, and then these are the same people that will cry that, oh, LA Knight isn't on the card for SummerSlam, but you champion a jobber like Carryan Cross. Make up your minds then. Another garbage match from Carryan Cross. He got carried by Sami Zayn for anything relevant in this match, and if he goes, then good riddance. I'm hearing fanboys saying he's reaching his peak. If this is his peak, then release him immediately because he's not contributing anything. Next up was Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship, and what was an absolute letdown of a match from every aspect possible. People online were celebrating that Jade Cargill didn't win. The other half of the people were upset that Tiffany was still the champion. Now, here's the bottom line. They are the exact same type of wrestler. So both fans that are complaining, they're complaining over the same thing. They have a gimmick that gets them over. They don't know how to cut good promos. They can't storytell in ring. They fight very emotionless, almost like they're just playing out the script and they put no passion into it. They botch a lot of the match in general. Not this match, I'm talking about in general. Their matches have a lot of botches and a lot of their matches don't flow well. This match did not flow well and we only saw 7 minutes of wrestling from them. Again, one moonsault was all it took for Jade to lose despite her beating Naomi 2 times. She beat Asuka as well. She's been going on this good momentum where they've made her look really strong and then she loses to Tiffy in 7 minutes because of one moonsault. Also, in commentary, they kept saying how Tiffy has more experience. She's got the champion experience. Tiffy used it to win. All these things. Jade Cargill is 33 years old and Tiffany Stratton is 26. I just find it cringe when commentary has to force feed you all these narratives and you'd never hear this type of gaslighting during the Vince McMahon era of WWE. This is just new cringe levels of they need to double down because the wrestlers aren't actually doing a good job in the ring, so the commentary has to tell you and oversell everything. But yeah, overall, this match should have been good on paper, could have been one of the best of the night on paper, but it was very badly and inconsistently booked, and all round it could easily be the biggest letdown of the night. Next up was Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, a useless match no one asked for, and Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre actually ended up winning. Jelly Roll did fuck all, so it was actually just a 2v1 for most of it. Useless excuse for a match, wasting everyone's time, everyone that is involved, especially Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. And the only person that benefited from any of this was Logan Paul, because he had that cool spot when he jumped off the top ropes through the announce table and he picked up the win. Anyways, let's move on. Now, last but not least was Gunther versus CM Punk. And this match was very poorly planned in my opinion, even though I was happy that CM Punk won. And the wrestling was actually pretty good in ring. I just didn't like the power dynamics that they were putting on, because Gunther basically dominated the match so hard that it was just inconsistent with how useless his character has been throughout the whole of 2025. The way they booked him in this match, this is how he should be booked in general. But the problem I had was that the changing point of this whole match was because he started gloating on the announcer's table, and something his character wouldn't even do and shouldn't even do is the reason why the whole match changed momentum and he started bleeding because of it. Now compare that to the way Jey Uso didn't even struggle this much. He didn't get crushed as hard as CM Punk did. So again, inconsistent power rankings all round. But in the end, CM Punk won, which was good to get the belt off Gunther. But then came the most sensational moment of the whole of night one. Seth Rollins came out and proved what a lot of us speculated, and he made sure to be the biggest hater in the history of WWE, and he cashed in on CM Punk. That moment alone saved night one from being stale and boring, and night one now will always be remembered for that Seth Rollins cash in. He stole the night, he stole the show. I did have a video about how he should cash in on John Cena instead, and it links to a bigger picture that would link all the way to WrestleMania. The link will be down below in the description if you want to see it. I guess now it obviously can't happen, but that video can now serve as a what if. But I'm very happy with how it turned out. Of course, it was predictable. Oh, Seth Rollins, if he had to cash in on anyone, who would it be? Oh yeah, the person he hates the most, CM Punk. Although predictable, it was very well done. It was done to a T how Seth Rollins would act and how his character would act and all of that stuff. So I'm very happy with how it turned out, even though I would have rather he cashed in on John Cena. But yeah, if I'm being honest, overall SummerSlam was very boring, especially if it wasn't for that Seth Rollins moment. With that Sami Zayn match, the Jelly Roll match, it just ruined the whole card. So 2 out of the 6 matches were just garbage. Then Tiffany versus Jade, that was very bad because it was just such a letdown because of what the talent we have in the ring and what we actually got. So if we actually think about it, 3 out of the 6, 50% of the matches that we saw were actually not good enough. So again, it leaves night one on a bit of a nah, it could have been better kind of feel, but it is what it is. Night 2 will definitely be better. We know they're cooking something for the John Cena and Cody Rhodes main event, so we'll just have to wait and see. And as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What did you make of night 1 of SummerSlam? Do you agree with my points? Do you disagree? If so, let me know why. I'd appreciate if you could hit the like button, sub to the channel, and thank you for your time.